Hey guys, it's Trade Under 10 here, and I tried to do a live stream earlier today, and it didn't quite work out. I'm trying to get the bugs fixed with that before we do that again. So this is gonna be a little less interactive, a little bit more informative, but hopefully it should give you guys an idea of how I scan and how I find stocks. I primarily, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Trade Under 10. Um, I'm in this chat room daily, B-Man Alerts. I think it's the best chat room on the web. That's free, and this is what B-Man Alerts chat room looks like. And a lot of guys, have come up to me asking me, how do you find stocks? What do you use? And I know a lot of you use this program right here, FinViz, to find stocks and to scan. I don't. So this is going to be a little bit different. But what I'm going to try and help you do is walk you through what I do and kind of how you can translate that onto FinViz, which I don't use the FinViz screener at all. It's great because it's free, and stock charts you have to pay for. However, all I use FinViz for is this screen. I love this screen. It updates every couple minutes. Excuse me, during the trading day, and it gives you a great market overview of how things are going. I don't actually use this screener right here. I just don't. Why? And why don't I use it? Because I just don't like. I just don't like the fact that these drop downs really limit you. You can only do what. If I ever wanted to do a stock that's, I don't know. It just limits you on what you can do. If you can do custom things, but you have to sign up for their elite program. I never use their elite thing. Again, something you have to pay for. What we're going to do is we're going to use stock charts. We're going to try and translate that over to FinViz. I know so many of you use FinViz because it is like a really good. This is a great screener, especially one for you guys who are starting off. But I use StockCharts.com. I am a extra charting member, which I think is the next. There's the basic and the next up. I've been a member for about 3 years now. So what I do on a daily basis, this is the home screen, I go to members. Welcome to Extra. That's my name. I go to the advanced scan workbench right here. The standard scan, if you go to the standard scan workbench, it looks very similar to a FinViz, the FinViz screener. They've got all these drop downs. You can scan for new 52-week highs, strong volume gainers, all different kinds of things. You can also scan for specific chart formations. Dojis, if you want to scan for hangman's hammers, all these kind of things, which are reversal formations, or anything really. Or you can actually put in your own technical expressions, and that's where we're going to get into with the advanced scan workbench. So if you go back, you go to this advanced scan workbench, and this is what I use. This is literally how I scan for stocks during the trading day. It's the same process during the trading day as it is at the close or after the close. And this is how I build. This is kind of the way that I build my watch lists and how I find stocks. This lesson will only be on how I scan. How I build watch lists will be later on. That can be a later lesson. But this is like the most basic of basics. How I scan on this this screen. And hopefully it helps. Right here, I've created 41 scans. Like I said, the first year I was using the simple scan workbench. For the last 2 years, I've been using this advanced scan workbench, once I kind of figured out how it worked. And I basically created all these scans with kind of silly names that really have helped me. Out of these 41, I probably only use 4 or 5 regularly. Arts, Cloud Breakout, not NTC, Cross the Cloud, Turtle 2, Turtle 1, Volume. Some of these other ones are just a little bit more specific. ADX PPO, that's something that we can go into. That's another later lesson. ADX PPO pinch. All different types of basically ways that you can find stocks. But I only use about 4 or 5 that I scan for nightly, and I only really scan for during the day. I only really use the Turtle 2, scan. That's what we're gonna like basically base the whole lesson around, is this Turtle 2 scan. Now this Turtle 2 scan is based upon Michael Covell's book. Here, let me look it up for you guys. Michael Covell, Turtle Traders. This guy, I mean, do your research into this guy, Michael Covell. He created basically this. Actually, let's do it. Let's do it right now. Let's show you. Michael Covell. He's basically a trend follower, and he wrote this book about this guy Richard Dennis, who created this. He and Dennis and his partner William Eckhart created this group of turtles, Wall Street novices who turned top traders based upon Dennis's trading advice. Now, it was Dennis's trading advice that I'm kind of going off, and it's really simple, and it's really based upon this last part of the scan right here. And we're going to go over. Before we get to that, we're going to go over bit by bit, just so you guys can understand this, because it looks on the outset, this looks really complicated. This looks, when I first started using the Advanced Scan Workbench, it was kind of intimidating. However, if you have someone to explain it to you or help you work through it, it actually makes perfectly good sense. First of all, what we have is the difference between stock charts and FinViz, which depends on how advanced you want to. Or how detailed you want to get into things. Stock charts allows you to scan for ETFs. You can scan for indexes depending on what you want to do. You can scan for Canadian stocks. You can scan for OTC stocks. FinViz, especially the basic program, only allows you to scan for stocks that are New York Stock Exchange, Amex, or NASDAQ. Again, I don't know what the Elite. I don't use the Elite. They might offer more options in the Elite. I don't use the Elite. I just use the basic, the free version. I know a lot of you guys just use the free version too, so that's what we're going to stick with. However, StockCharts.com kind of is a little bit more advanced, a little bit more expanded. But I'm just interested in stocks. I'm not interested in ETFs, though I do scan them sometimes. So the first thing we have here is that the type of equity we're looking for equals a stock. It doesn't equal an ETF or anything else, and we're looking for stocks within the U.S. That's all I'm interested in. That's bottom line. The next two things are your price criteria. So we want to bracket the price and what we're looking for. Now, since my website is tradeunder10.com, I'm just interested in stocks under $10. Why don't I just have stocks that the close is below $10? Why do I add this in here? Well, honestly, this really should be stocks under or above 50 cents. But sometimes you get those OTC stocks. Sometimes you get those really, really low price NASDAQ stocks that are below 50 cents. I can actually think of one right now. If you go to finviz.com and you go to EDMC right here is below 50 cents. This thing's a piece of crap, but I would never have those. If it did fulfill the rest of the scan, I would never, and it was popping, that thing would never come up. So by keeping it the price bracketed between 10 cents and $10 and 5 cents, that kind of gives widens my range of options, but also brackets in what I'm looking for. A number of guys will look, they'll scan for stocks all the way up to $100. Well, guess what? You're going to be scanning most of the night, and really, what you're looking for is quality over quantity. I'm not looking for more than, I try and keep my watch list down to 15 charts a night, nothing more, nothing less. Sometimes I go over that. Sometimes I'm much less than that. But you're always looking for quality setups rather than the amount of quantity. Quantity is just you get different. You don't get the same kind of and you don't put the same kind of time into your stocks in your charting. So those are the first four criteria, very, very basic. We can do the same thing on FinViz Exchange. You don't have to do the first two criteria on FinViz don't apply because FinViz FinViz does that for you. But the price, so we go to price here and we're looking for under 10 stocks. So that's the first descriptive filter that we can put in. The next thing we're looking for is So this is this thing right here. So this means that the daily simple moving average of the daily volume in the past 20 days is over 100,000 shares. So what does that mean? That means that I'm looking for, the daily simple moving average of the volume. So if I pull up a chart, right here we have this looks complicated. Hold on. Let me make this a little bit clearer. So this is FM. This is just I had this up before I started this broadcast, so don't ignore why I have FNMA up. But what we're looking for, indicators, we're looking for volume, and then we're also looking for the overlay of the simple moving average, 20. So essentially what I'm looking at is, right here we have volume. It's also, I also have it behind the chart right here, but this is the 20 moving average of the volume. And what we're looking for is we want to make sure that that 20 moving average over the, it is above 100,000 shares. And that's just a way to, sometimes that doesn't mean that the stock is always trading above 100,000 shares. But it just enables, it allows, sometimes that stock may be trading at 50,000 shares, sometimes it may be trading at 20,000 shares a day or on one particular day. But what it does, it kind of just eliminates those really, really low volume stocks that you guys should really stay away from. Low volume stocks are, they're harder exits, harder entries. They might really pop. I know there's a couple traders out there who have made a lot of money with low volume stocks and front-running low-volume stocks. I won't name names, but novice traders, especially those who are just starting off, just stay away from really low-volume stocks. Like generally, even when I look on my watch list nightly, I tend to eliminate stocks that are below 100,000 shares. Now, on the screener, what you can do is you can go to average volume right here, and you're looking for stocks that are over, really over 50,000, but you want to eliminate that and say over 100,000. Like again, sometimes you might have, right here, the first thing you looked at, ACW, only traded 68,000 shares today, but still the average is above 100,000 shares. And that's kind of just hedging your bets and keeping you as a trader or you as the investor safe from these low volume pieces of crap. Now, the next thing I have is, again, something that FinViz won't have on their screeners, and that is the exchange is not pink. I'm not interested in pink sheet stocks. I don't mind OTCBB stocks. I know that some people don't trade OTCBB stocks. That's actually how I started trading. But I'm not interested in pink sheets. Pink sheets are that's a gray area, so I want to eliminate that. Sometimes on this scan I will get OTCBB stocks, but really I'm only sticking to the pink. I'm only sticking to stocks that are either on the Nasdaq, the New York Stock Exchange, the Amex, and sometimes the OTCBB stocks. Now the last thing I have here, and this is why I mentioned the Michael Covell thing, because this is one of his criteria. This is one of Dennis's criteria, which he taught his turtles, as he so put them, and that is that you're looking for stocks that the high of today, basically the high or the close. You can even be more specific and say the close. We're looking at the high of today equals the maximum high over the past 20 days. So again, the high of today, or we could even be more specific and say the close of today, if you really want to find those breakout stocks, is equal to the max of the max high of the past 20 days. Now, now a couple of questions. Why 20 days? Well, in a month, there's 5 trading days in a month, and there's 4 weeks in a month generally. So that's kind of like a month. It's kind of like a monthly breakout right there. So it's a short-term monthly breakout, and it's just that's kind of how you find. That's how, like, an initial way to find like a decent basket of stocks. And really, if you go to FinViz, let's see, 20-day high-low. And you could even say a new high, give you 4 pages worth of stocks. Even if you want to get even more specific, you could, or if you're looking for those stocks that are just just about to break out, you could say 5% or below the high. And that gets you 34. That gives you 34 pages. It's a little bit too much. But if you look at the new high of the day, you go to charts, you kind of get stocks that are actually close to breaking out. And if we actually compare what we get here on FinViz and when I run the scan right now, what I get on stock charts, we're going to get some similar. We're going to get some crossover. For example, let's see, ACLS, ADNC, and so on. So, this is basically what I just created. This is something that I scanned for. This is basically I just created for you guys my stock chart scan, which I scan actually, like I said, during the day and after the close. And how I create my watch list, this is one of the scans I just created for you right here. And this only gives you 4 pages, 71 stocks. And the nice thing about FinViz is that you basically are looking at, once you get a good visual, once you can actually visually scan stocks fast, you can immediately eliminate some stocks that you can tell aren't breaking out. For example, ATHX, that didn't break out today. Doesn't look like it's going to break out soon, so we can eliminate that. But some other stocks, for example, BDR, I put this on the watch list. I put this on the watch list today, but that's close to a breakout right there. If it can break over, BDR right here, if it can break over this 288 level, with a nice volume pop, then we could really see this move, and really could see this, move higher than 288, especially since it's very low volume. But there you go. I just created for you, one of my scans in FinViz. And it really gives you 4 pages worth of decent setups that are basically breakout or continuation plays. The other thing that I do, the other turtle scan, which we can go over, which is Turtle 1, which is just a little bit more. It's a little bit more advanced. Is exactly the same criteria. The only thing I added is that yesterday or 1 day ago, the max 1 day ago high of the past 4 days is less than the high of the past 20 days. Does that make sense? I said that out loud to myself. It didn't make sense. So in the past 4 days, the high of the past 4 days is less than the high of the past 20 days. So this is more of like your fight. This is more. It's almost like your 0 to 3% below high. It actually gives you more results. This is kind of why I like stock charts more than FinViz, because you can actually really dial down your results. And this is something that I actually scan for a little bit more frequently, because this only gives me 23 results, whereas the Turtle 2 gives me 92 results. So the Turtle 1, which has that extra criteria in there, the 1 day ago max 4 high, 1 day ago max 20 high, it gives you almost like the better setups, if that's the way to describe it. Off the watch list, I don't know if you guys remember my watch list, my main watch list tonight, but it includes BDR, it includes FMOX, it includes SAND, S-A-N-D, and VTNR. So 4 out of the 5 stocks that I've included on my main watch list, which I'll bring up, trade under 10. 4 out of the 5 stocks which I included on my main watch list tonight came off that scan. BDR, FMOX, SAND, and VTNR all came off basically this simple scan. And it's something that even right here on this FinViz scan, BDR, let's see what else. I actually haven't run this scan before, so we're doing this live. It'd be interesting to see what we come up with. We don't have FMOX, but we do have ELNK. That's something that a lot of people have focused on. Hart Hanks, I like that one. GV, IDRA, MU, Isle. That was another one that I featured. That was actually the fifth one, the one that didn't pop up on this scan, but is popping up on your FinViz scan. I really like this stock right here. So I mean, you know, it produces like a nice little list of stocks that are either close to breaking out or have broken out. And by limiting your price and limiting, you know, the price and limiting the volume, you're really keeping yourself, you know, you're keeping yourself SAND. There you go, SIGM. You know, this is a nice little scan. OMVO, I put that on the watch list yesterday. You know, it's really simple. And the simpler you keep it, guys, the more successful you'll be. TGA, something I put on my secondary watch list. VTNR, there it is again. Wendy's, big favorite, fan of that. ZGNX, put that on the watch list Friday. You know, you get some really decent setups. Like some of them aren't decent. So UCFC. I mean, that's a nasty looking shooting star candle. Red volume, and that even appears on this scan too. This is kind of why I don't like FinViz, is because it doesn't let you remove financial. It doesn't let you actually like really dial in on something. So what I normally do is I normally add this to my criteria too. Group is not financial sector, because I don't really like financial sector stocks. That's the UCFC is now removed. But yeah, that's kind of how I scan. I use this Turtle and Turtle 2. Basically, during the day, I probably scan about 4 to 5 times a day using the Turtle and Turtle 2 scans, which are really, really simple, basic breakouts. And kind of right here, I just recreated that for you on FinViz. It's the first time I've ever done this actually, so I'm kind of glad that it worked. Another thing that you can do is add relative volume over, if you really want to get more specific. AMCO, that was on my secondary watch list. CAS, put that on the watch list last night. You know, you went with a nice little good list, and you know, hopefully, if you're interested in trading stocks under 10, you know, you can increase this. We could put under $20. You get 5 pages. Now, you know, now you're limiting your risk a little bit more. But I hope this helps, guys. Just a basic scanning. Like if you do this during the day, you do this at night, and you save this scan. You get a save screen. Hopefully it helps. So that's going to be the first of the lessons we're going to post tonight, or post on the website tomorrow, or the next. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or later next week, or during this weekend. I'll try and post about how I create a watch list too, and how I chart. So I think that's really important, because creating, scanning is only half the battle. I think scanning is only about 30% of what how you create a watch list. A lot of it is in your eye, and a lot of it is in your ability to chart too. And so I think that's something that we can cover. But right now, a lot of people have been asking me, how do you scan? How do you find your stocks? And this is just a really simple way for you to pull up a list of 5 pages, or update 3 pages, which it was, of stocks which have really decent setups. So I hope that helps, guys. So this is Trade Under 10 signing off.